I only just kind of thought about this today and was like, whoa, wait a minute. The following is a true story. It's been happening over the course of the last few months, and it is a cautionary tale of consequences with spirit work.
When I started this video, it was intended to be about protection, and often you will see the lower banishing ritual of the pentagram or invoking the pentagram, and it's basically an extra step when you're casting your circle to protect yourself. And each pentagram represents a guardian, typically the archangels.
I've read versions where you have Hecate guardians in each corner. I've read versions where it's the four directions when you're casting the circle and calling in the winds for protection. Even with elementals, I've seen it with, not like seen people do it, but come across a version where each pentagram is an element and you have an elemental guardian controlling the valve of how much fire you get in so that it's not too much. Here's the thing.
I don't really do it. I don't do it. I've tried it a couple of times. It just doesn't do anything for me. I don't feel anything. It doesn't do anything for me. I think going into something new, and it could be spooky, you want to overprotect yourself, and you might do it. So much of discovering witchcraft is feeling new sensations. There's a part of it I kind of do. Summoning, earthly energy upwards. Ascendat serpens. I feel that. Invoking celestial energy. I feel that. It weighs down on my shoulders, and it's super relaxing, and it feels like perfect love and perfect trust. I've just talked to so many spirits that I just didn't really feel I needed to do it every time, and I didn't feel anything when I did do it, so I didn't really do it all the time. And it's not like anything bad has ever happened from it.
Maybe the following was just a series of unfortunate events that had nothing to do with anything and were just coincidence. Maybe it was synchronicity. I don't know. Nevertheless, I do think it is worth considering and worth thinking about, and I need to sit down and have a long think about steps I can take to prevent anything like this happening in the future, just in case.
It started with one book, and then more books, and reading as much as I could about witchcraft, and trying spirit work, practicing it, coming at it with like a skeptical mind, and just trying to prove it wrong, and getting kind of good at it, and developing my own methods to sort of talk with spirits, locate them and find them, and realizing I had spirit guides that I could go to with questions, and they would help me and guide me. I would talk to people, and I would tell people, like, people from work, friends, like, hey, this is what's going on, this is what I'm doing, here's some crazy ghost stories that just happened to me, and it would blow their minds, and then they would say, wow, you should film that. And okay, so I'll just add them to my YouTube channel, which was something different at the time. And then I started doing the videos, really bad cringe videos of me just sitting there talking, but it's two spirits, and hopefully reaching out into the ether to see, is anyone else out there? Is anyone else doing this? Do people also talk to spirits? I don't know. I can't find any other resources, so let me just share myself. And that's what I would do, is I would talk to spirits, and most of them just want to cross over. And I would sort of persuade them to do that. They were just scared. Most of them. Some of them were bad. Some of them were really kind of not cool at all. I became a priestess of Hecate, and through talking with her, I learned how to banish and trap the bad spirits and put them in bottles, until I could figure out what I would do with them, which I never really did. The thing is, if you go back and even watch those videos, after a spirit would cross over, I would feel this aftershock, which I've learned more about with energy work. You kind of feel the same thing when you're casting a spell, raising energy and casting it off, but I would feel this aftershock. But the more I talked to them, the more they described seeing it happen from far away, like kind of like a fireworks show. And the more spirits I talked to, the more would cross over, and the more would cross over, the more it would attract. So I would have a bunch of spirits just kind of hanging out in my driveway, and I would have one of my spirit guides sort of standing guard as gatekeeper and explaining to them, yeah, there's a witch here. Yes, spirits are crossing over. If you want to talk to her, just wait until she calls you in.
And I made a lot of cringy videos.
Cool as it was talking to spirits all the time, I was broke, and life kind of hit me in the face.
Hecate brought me to where I am now, which maybe is a story for another time, but I had to take a job out of town. What was I going to do with my house?
So I came up with a plan. Take a job out of town, have some people move into my empty house, pay me some rent. I mean, what could go wrong? Listen, if you're gonna rent my house, you should know something. Do not go in this closet. This is my witch closet. There are dangerous things in here. Some of these herbs are poisonous. Some of these books summon demons. That is a spirit trapped in a bottle. Whatever you do, just don't come in this closet. Doesn't matter if you don't believe in it. Still, treat it like it's my private property. Don't come in here. Don't mess with anything. Okay? Sure.
What exactly is going on?
So the first 2 nights we were like finding the house. There was really nothing. It was just getting settled. But the more that we got settled into the house, it's almost like there was like a presence in the house with us.
This is a video I made in October.
So in the house, there was like a black shadow figure like walking across the end of my bed towards the other side of the room. And then recently, there's been like cupboards that are left open. The upstairs landing too. It feels like somebody's almost watching me from like the upper landing from the upstairs.
Yes, obviously my house is haunted because I made it haunted. So, and I gave her some tips to deal with it, and I said, hey, look, if you go back and watch that video, if this doesn't work, tell me, we'll do some more stuff. Even if I have to fly back and deal with it in person, we'll fix this. Never heard anything again. So I just kind of assumed it was dealt with and forgot about it. Bad stuff, I guess, kept happening.
And it's kind of weighing on me. Like, how much of this is the result of my doing witchcraft in that house?
In the beginning, there was 3 people. One that I knew the best from work kind of went crazy and attacked someone with my sort of ritual dagger.
Wondering how this is going to work. We no longer do the spirit guide watches the floor thing. So if I just call out to like one of the
I got a call one night saying basically she's been arrested and gonna be up on felony charges. One of them was fired. She was a social worker or something, and she was let go. I don't know the circumstances, and she also started to fall into addiction. One of them unfortunately passed away. They overdosed. Okay, so the one who was charged and then the one who passed away obviously weren't living in there anymore. So the one that was left said, hey, my cousin needs a place to live. And the cousin also has a boyfriend who's like a good carpenter, and they can stay, and we're working, and we have money and all that stuff. Okay, great. They also had a baby. And I did like a video messaging call with her so I could see her and talk to her and explain things. That was in October. December, I went home for the holidays, and I didn't even recognize this person anymore. And her baby, they kept talking about how their baby was sick. They had to go to the hospital, their baby was sick. They don't know why their baby was sick. When they were at the hospital, obviously the doctors saw them and called Children's Services. From October to December, one passed away, one kind of went a little too crazy one night and is being charged big time and is looking at prison time. One got hooked on drugs, lost their job. Another also hooked on drugs, lost their baby. Their baby also got very sick. The baby's okay now. The one with the baby, they were a couple. So 5 people and the baby had miserable, horrible experiences in the span of just a couple of months. I made it very clear.
don't go in this witch closet, don't touch this stuff. Whether you believe it or not, just respect that I believe that there is a spirit in this bottle. Several spirits in several bottles. Do not read these books. These books, don't read them. It's like the movie The Evil Dead.
So in my video where they call, I gave her some advice about appealing to Hecate, and she's like, oh, yeah, I know her from that book. And she kind of let it slip that she was reading this book. And beginners should not read this book because if she knows about Hecate, she likely read this part. And this part is a prayer to Hecate to basically draw a bunch of spirits to you. So we have my house that is getting regular spirit traffic. We have bad spirits in my house already. And we have a person who read a prayer to invite more spirits in.
And when I went home for my Christmas holidays, that witch's closet was cleaned out. They packed up everything, maybe threw some things out. I didn't find everything. I found a lot of things, not everything. I didn't find the little bottle of parchment. There was 2 of them of a bad spirit I had trapped in those bottles. Where are they? Don't know. Did they fall on the floor and shatter? Don't know. And it all just kind of hit me today because I had forgot about that phone call. Unforeseen consequence of spirit work.
Well, I guess when I kind of left, like I even jokingly said, like, you know, and I'll have spirits watching you. As soon as I was gone, they got up to some pretty shady things. But the thing is, people do shady things all the time. This is a span of a few months, and these people's, all their lives are basically, like, ruined.
Okay, here's the thing about spirits. Ghosts. Most of them are not nice. Because the reason they are ghosts is because they decide not to cross over because they're scared of judgment, going to hell, whatever, because they did something bad or a lot of bad things. So the range of ghosts that haunt places are not very good spirits. Just be careful. Take whatever moral lesson you can from this story, this thing that happened.
What if you're just determined to do this? What if you want to get into spirit work? What if my story didn't scare you off and you think, oh, I am definitely going to try this now? And I should at least give you some tips on how to do it properly and how to be careful doing it. First thing you should think about, why do you even want to talk to spirit? You also need to think about how you're going to do it. Try different methods, practice different ways, read different books, and find what works best for you, what comes the easiest, and that will be your go-to method. The most important thing about spirit work is to start with spirit guides, okay? If you're gonna pick up a method to talk to ghosts, then you're gonna wind up talking to a ghost. So you better be specific about who you want to talk to. And the best thing you can do is talk to spirit guides, because they are special spirits that are there just to help you and guide you. You can learn a lot from them. You can ask them any question you want to about the spirit realm, and they can give you the answers. And they can also protect you from other spirits, bad spirits that want to hurt you. They can help you with that. So start with spirit guides. Pick their brain, learn from the spirit guides, ask them questions. Develop a relationship, so get to know them, ask them about their life, try and make friends with them. And another thing you can do is, I even started writing down, what are they experts at? What are they good at? So that I can go to them for specific questions. If someone's an expert, even if it's just like in their own life, they were a farmer, okay, I can ask them about, how to garden. And eventually you will have an entire support team of spirit guides that can, if you're going to walk through the ghetto, do you want to do it by yourself or do you want to go with your crew? Because if you're getting into spirit work, you're walking through the ghetto. It's welcome to the jungle, baby. If you want to start interacting with ghosts, do you really want to be by yourself? Or do you want someone watching your back? It's not that they can really hurt you, but they are definitely going to lie to you. And the biggest consequences are to your mental health. Anyone who's ever had to live in a haunted house, it's all about psychological torment. And there's actually nothing to be scared of, because you are not alone. You have spirit guides, and you know that they're just ghosts, and they're liars, and they can't really hurt you. Read up on spirit work. Read up about spirits and different kinds. Become an expert before you even attempt it. Learn as much as you can about the spirit realm and try the exercises recommended by experts. If you want to continue to pursue spirit work, and if your path is taking you down a road where you're going to be interacting with bad spirits, at that point, you want to develop a relationship with a deity, someone much more powerful than you, that can come to your aid and help you. I mean, that's at the very heart of exorcism, is divine authority. The power of Christ compels you. Also, don't forget, call your mother. She's worried about you.